Hello everyone and welcome to QuickSaveTV. Now I hope you took your tea, coffee or hot chocolate and ready to watch, because today we're gonna take a look at the Oblivion raids number 3, in which we select a random dungeon in the world of Oblivion and raid it. I am host Mike Pushkin and I welcome you to my channel and I hope you're gonna have fun. Now let's just go ahead and select a random dungeon over there, somewhere to the west of the Imperial City, and find it. Very simple. We're not gonna do any quest at this point. We're just gonna go ahead and find a random dungeon and clean it up. And as we do that, we will talk a little bit about whatever comes into my head, basically. Preferably if it's connected to Oblivion or Skyrim. Speaking of which, now it's, considering that it's 3rd of October, it's just 7 days left. If we exclude today. Just 7 days left until we get our hands on the Elder Scrolls V Skyrim. I hope you're all excited as much as I am, because I just cannot wait to play the game. I actually seen on their site that they released another piece of content, how they were creating the cinematics video. I never watched it yet, but I would recommend for you to watch it. Yes, because there's nothing wrong with it. And I actually will just, excuse me for that, I'm gonna go ahead and set up the timer clock, so I don't run out of time like the last time. I'll set it on 15 minutes, and if we cross it, I'm just gonna go ahead and start the new recording. This way we're gonna save some space. Not space, we're gonna have a formal introduction for each part, because I apologize, I'm still really new to all these things. Come on, silly deer. Wait, nope. Wait a bit, up! Okay, screw deers. We're not here for deers, we're here for the dungeon. There's nothing interesting right here. Let's just go ahead and go inside. There's a camp outside of this dungeon, outside of this castle. I would assume outside of the fort. God damn it, I have to memorize these things. Outside of this fort there's a little camp. I suppose we'll have marauders inside. Let's see how right I am. Let's go ahead and clean it. I also started a new installation of Starcraft 2 videos about the playthrough of the single player campaign on Brutal. If you haven't watched it yet, or you're interested to watch it, just go ahead and watch it. After you watch this video, obviously. Yes, I think I was right. It looks like a marauder. I'm just gonna go ahead and take it down. Take her out. Calm down, it's fine. I'm just an explorer. Talk about marauders. Talk about marauders. Starcraft 2 marauders with concussive shells. They are great. So, what are we gonna talk about now? I would like to talk about, now that it came to my mind, I would like to talk about loot in Skyrim. We've seen some videos of the gameplay footage, actually just 3 videos, in total 24 minutes. It's not something gigantic or anything, it's just... I never really seen them talk about the loot system or loot mechanics, in the meaning that how many item sets will there be, how many weaponry, how many these things. It seems, from what I've seen right now at this point, up to this point, it seems pretty much like the Elder Scrolls Oblivion. It seems, you know, very... oh, that's a lot of enemies. It seems very limited amount of sets. Let's say iron, steel, whatever it's gonna follow it. Oh my goodness, there's so many of them. But why do they fight each other? I don't follow them. Well, since they're so focused on fighting each other, I'm just gonna help them obliterate each other. I think I got one of them. Pregnant cow.
supposed to be impressed?
Nope. I'm trying to impress my viewers, not you. I'm pretty much sure the modding community will add more armor sets, more weaponry, but I'm interested about the basic game. How much will it have? I recently seen a very funny video of one of my subscribers where the giant kills a player and player just skyrockets into the air and just it's very funny. It reminds me of Fallout very much. It seems that a Skyrim engine, as far as this weight goes, weight of the bodies, it took much more from Fallout 3 than it took from Oblivion, in all honesty. It's actually very easy to notice because I don't remember once in Oblivion that bodies would fly really high. There wasn't such thing. Fancy. Great. Some more iron bows. Iron arrows, excuse me. That seems good enough. There was a gigantic crowd, we dealt with it reasonably fast, and we never looted any of them. They also were fighting with each other, which was probably the best thing that could happen. More iron bow. Okay, that's what we're gonna borrow from this body. We're gonna throw away our rusty iron bow and switch to this one. Because what the hell's the point, right? Weak potion of healing, weak potion of endurance. Oh, alchemy also. How will alchemy be in Skyrim? I just wonder. Will they make it just like here? Because if they do the same approach, the alchemy will obliterate the economy again. There will be absolute no need in any kind of economy as long as alchemy, in such as it is, will exist. It's just it murders the point, because alchemy is just a complete testament of disbalance when we talk about money. Because I talked about it in the previous video, or one of the previous videos. Now there's two. It's hard to remember all these things, but I said that alchemy as it is very disbalanced because it allows you to generate wealth out of nothing, right? You don't invest anything in alchemy beyond buying the instruments of alchemy, and that's it. And after you do that, what happens is that you can use them again and again, and they can generate more and more wealth. You don't need to do anything else. You don't need to understand anything. You don't need to, it's very easy. I mean, even lockpicking is more difficult than alchemy, because in alchemy you essentially just put objects and that's it. Well, you know what? It's very sad that was the whole fort. I just go ahead until the time runs out when I hear the timer, which is going to finish at this point. At this point, we're going to go ahead in the wilderness and just continue talking about different things and just hunt something. Just hunt something. Maybe there's another small cave or fort nearby. Maybe someone will attack us, like this stray wolf. Very good. So the point is that I wonder how will they think ahead of such features, or will the modding community will have to change it again? Excuse me. What happened in Oblivion is that modding community invented the mod called Living Economy, which essentially changed the prices and the amount of gold vendors would have. After this change, you wouldn't be able to sell all these things to one vendor, but alchemy would still stay on top, because you would just run around all the vendors and you would just sell your alchemical potions. It just doesn't seem right? Because this way economy doesn't really exist. It's not important to accumulate wealth, because at any point you can just go around Cyrodiil to all the taverns, buy all the food, and out of this food you will make potions, because each food is an ingredient in this game. And after you do that, you just go ahead and sell them to the same merchants, or just any other merchant. And what happens is that you spend, let's say, 100 coins on all the food, and you will generate wealth of about 1000 on 100th level of alchemy, or even more. It's not impossible, because before 100th level you have to find ingredients with similar benefits, right? With similar effects. Effects is much better, yeah. So as you progress in your alchemical skills, what happens essentially is that you don't need to find any more things like that, and you can just put one ingredient and brew a potion out of it. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we found the cave. That'll be Breakneck cave. I think it's full with imps as far as I remember, but I can be mistaken. But it also, I mean, the amount of imps outside insinuates that. So the point is that Skyrim, I think, will not have a multiplayer, just like Oblivion. It's fine. It doesn't bother me none because, you know, it doesn't bother me. That's very simple. I mean, I wouldn't mind playing with my friends in the game like that, but I'm absolutely not lonely playing it alone. I'm just as excited, if not more, because it's my own playground. I can go wherever I want to do whatever I want. It's as simple as that, and I can mod it as much as I want. Whereas if we would be some wolves. Whereas it would be a multiplayer, we would have to somehow put the same mods. We would have to, especially when it's 100 mods, it can be a little bit difficult, especially when we're not living the next door from each other or in the same city. You know, it could be difficult, and especially if one person is understanding how the mods work and the other one doesn't. Okay, I got to level up. Gotta sleep to level up. It's fine, I'll do it later. It's not the purpose at this point. I think I have level 3. Yeah, it's gonna be level 4. I like how every video I level up once, and I just continue like this slope. Okay, so the point is that will Bethesda think ahead and make some changes which will make economy stronger and long-lasting for the players, or will the modding community will have to step up and just change it? And another thing which worries me a lot, I never heard anything about it, the difficulty settings. Will there be the same system like right here, the slider, or will there be a specific difficulty setting? Will you be able to select the difficulty? I have no information about it, never seen or anything about that. No, nothing. I don't think they ever mentioned that. I searched a bit. I might be mistaken, I cannot, say 100%, but still. I feel that in some ways the slider difficulty in Oblivion, in many ways, it makes the game easier when you go to the harder. I'm gonna tell you why. For an archer, for any class in the game to level up your skills, you have to use them again and again, but to use them successfully. That means if you try to level up the sword skill, you would have to hit your enemies, and what matters is not how hard you hit or how much damage you deal, is the amount of hits. And if the enemies are tougher, you can deal more hits, which means you can increase the skill a lot more from one enemy, which means you're gonna level up faster, and you're gonna level up things you need faster also. Now if you think a bit about that, for a bit of trade-off, the increased hit points of the enemy, you get a much easier leveling up, right? It hardly is more difficult. It's not, in all honesty. It might be a little more difficult, but not really. If you can overcome that, you just level up faster. That's what happens. It's very simple. Oh, we found a claymore of sparks. That's what we're gonna keep. Another thing, how will enchantments work in the Skyrim? I'm just so excited about it, to see these things. Will they use the same? I'm almost sure they're gonna use the same system, but I would still like to see with what changes. I didn't like the system in Morrowind, in which you would essentially dump all your money into this recharging, and I don't like the system used in Oblivion, because it just seems that you use the weapon with its enchantment and you just forget about it. You just don't want to use it. You don't want to enchant it again. I mean, recharge it, not enchant it. And what essentially happens, you just use it as a normal weapon, and you are very, you don't care if it's not. It was enchanted before. You don't care. Now you can hit with any weapon. You can hit ghosts and some demonic essences which you cannot hit except for silver. You can use specific weapons to hit them. Only silver, only Daedric, I think. The point is that as you progress, these enchantments, they don't matter anymore, because essentially level progression in the game is only from 0 to 20. I mean, you can level up above, and I knew a guy who played a little bit. I mean, but how can you say it? He was no life in it, let's say, right? But not just no life. He had a specific setup, and he reached 48th level. But what I'm trying to say is that although character can progress up to 48, 50 if you set specific things, it's fine, you can do that, but there is no point or stimulation to do that. The game progression ends on 20. Once you reach 20, all the monsters and loot will be set up for 20. There's no above 20. It's very simple. Which means that once you reach it, there's really nothing else that holds you in the game to play. So basically, what happened to me in my first playthrough is that I took a hatchet, I selected marksman, alchemy, all these, fancy things, and I just called the class assassin, right? And what did I do? I just leveled up really fast. Really fast. I was first among my friends who leveled up to level 20. We had a bet, I won it. But the point is that I leveled up heavily because of alchemy. And what happened is, after all the monsters became set up for level 20, I wouldn't be able to deal with them effectively, because I would have to heavily rely on my poisons, because my marksman skills would not be high enough, and I would encounter very strong, very tough monsters, which would be really hard to deal with. So why am I saying all these things? Is that I wish they will have the scaling, not like in Oblivion. I mean, not wherever you go you encounter the same challenge. It just seems stupid. I mean, there should be areas in the game in which you go and you just die and you don't know what to do, and areas which are just so easy that you're falling asleep. That seems illogical. Okay, thank you very much for joining us. Thank you very much for listening and watching. If you enjoyed my commentary, if you liked the video, go ahead, like, subscribe, and share with your friends. Thank you very much for watching. Have a great day, and bye bye.